All right. And now we are going to be bringing on Miss Michaela McCord. Let's see if we can get her in here. There she is.
Hi.
Hello. So, you know, Michaela has been with us since the beginning. She's done our psychology segment. She's been a co-host. This is her last episode with us for a while because she is busy and we understand that. But we're
Yay,
still
master's programs.
yay, master's programs. But you've had it. So first of all, going with what Christina was talking about from the psychology perspective, as that is one of your two majors, or how do you think that affects when women feel confident, when women have on different clothes? Can you kind of walk us through the psychology of that?
Yes. Yes, I can. Because this is something that I've actually witnessed firsthand myself. For instance, I think this is a pretty good example. When teletherapy first started, so when COVID hit, everything fell apart, and counselors had to sort of get our stuff together, and like move to online.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was a lot of counts. I have my own counselor. I remember talking to her, and that she like a lot of times would be wearing shorts like from like the waist down, like be very professional makeup, and then like just like chill shorts. And I remember that at one point I said I just can't do that right now on my own. Just starting out, getting my legs wet.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't really do that because it just that confidence level just like dissipated. And I'm just like,
Right.
oh my gosh, I'm just sitting here in my shorts, I'm just chilling at home. But whenever I put on dress pants, did my makeup, did my hair, and showed up for my sessions, my confidence level just boosted. And what I really think is happening there is embodiment. You're
Right.
embodying what you put out. So like when you put on the makeup and you do that, you're giving yourself a different image of yourself, if that makes sense.
Right.
Does that
Right.
make
No, it
sense?
does. That makes
Okay.
sense.
I said it
That
sort
makes
of weird. Said it sort of
no, you
weird.
didn't. No, that
Okay.
made sense.
Okay,
I
good.
think that's very true. And I think that because I have to do that, right, for the show. People have told me, oh, just wear a t-shirt or whatever. It's your own show. Who cares? I thought, no, no, this is a professional show. I need to have that mentality on, that mindset on. And I think it just does kind of help us gear up
And oh
in
my
that.
gosh, you know what I just realized? I
What?
really see this as a social thing. Because if
Yeah,
it's just us and we're by ourselves, then that's not really going to matter. Whatever you wear, whatever.
right.
But whenever you go in front of other people, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, how are other people going to see me? How are they going to perceive
Yes,
me? And you running a show, I know we have a comment, sorry, just real quick, but
that's
when
okay.
you have a show and you're in front of a bunch of people, you do want to present a certain image. And when
You
you
do. And
don't
it's
have
the
that.
same thing at work and in job interviews,
No, that's very true. Like, what image
right?
are
It's
you giving off? Yeah.
yes. How are you presenting yourself? That energy. We're back to that in who you are. So
Mhm.
Paula says, I'm with you, Michaela. I dress up first thing in the morning every day, or else my mind is a few levels behind. Yep.
Exactly. It is.
Yeah.
Like, and for me, it's not only dress. Like, it's mainly dress, like, especially if I'm going out and presenting myself somewhere, but it's also like a lot of times I'll go and get a workout in the morning, and that gets
Yes.
my body going, the energy levels. And if you can't get a workout in, I love what Christine or Christina
Christina. Christina.
Christina, I love
Mhm.
what Christina was saying about just doing some like 10 jumping jacks or listening to a song. For me, I
Yes.
do push-ups. I just get
It,
down, do some push-ups, like, oh, beast, even though we bust out
yeah.
like 15
The
to 20,
physical aspect is huge. So exercise, yoga, these things will get your mind right for the day, whether you're job seeking or going to work or building a business, whatever you're doing. Do something to take care of your body and make sure that you're sleeping enough. Please, that will
Yes,
break down your
please.
mind. We've done a whole whole bit about that on the mental health episode that we did recently is the
Yeah.
importance of sleep and the importance of taking care of your body. It does affect your mind. Um
Well, we're holistic beings. So
yes,
whatever you do with your body, you guys, is going to affect your mind and vice versa. What I mean by holistic beings is that we are whole. We're not just a mind, we're not just a body, we're not just a personality, we're not just our thoughts, we're not just our emotions. We are all of these things together. And
mhm,
whatever you put into your body, put out of your body, like I mean exercise, that it affects everything. Sorry, I can get off on a soapbox with
Yeah,
that, so I'll
we're
let
not
you.
going to go down that train.
I just want to
but
mention it.
but no, but it's very true. It's very, very true. And it's important to remember those things, that what affects one does affect the other. So one thing I want to talk about too, that we've kind of brushed up against on this show, is your story. So because I've had people say, well, why is Michaela on the show? Is it just because she's your sister? I said, no.
Yes. No,
No,
no.
let me rest assured. If you know me, you know I would not have anybody represent me that that wouldn't do it well. I don't care who you
Mhm.
are. But you have a very interesting story and how you
Mhm.
got into what you do. You have this wonderful therapy dog, Maslow, who's making impacts all over Waco, Texas. He's a whole celebrity now.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if he's anywhere where he can be seen, but
He
he
is. Hold on.
he is.
Last
All
time
right,
I
let's see
checked, he
Maz.
was. Oh
Let's
no,
see
he
Maz.
left me. Oh no, he didn't. He's down there.
Oh yes, there he
Yeah,
is. There is Maslow.
sort of.
So Maslow the therapy dog is this whole phenomenon in Waco, and he's made a big difference. But let's talk about real quick why you got into this and kind of your background and your story and kind of some things, not too much detail. As we always say, we're not entitled to anybody's trauma or anybody's medical history or anything like that, but just kind of a brief what inspired you and your background.
That is an excellent question. Hmm. I actually got into psychology at first because I wanted to do animal training, as you all know, Catherine.
Mhm.
Um, and I remember I was in my first semester psychology course, just basic general psych for animal, like just in it for animal training. And there was a lot of stuff going on my first semester of college, and a lot of stuff that just changed me. And in my first semester, I remember that it was just like, I do love animals and I'm different than I was. And I decided to do something with that change. And that's probably the best way I can put what happened. And I really became very interested in the human mind. And it really wasn't until I knew I wanted to be a counselor, but it wasn't until oh, hi,
Yeah.
Susan.
Hi,
um,
Susan. Yes, we all love
but it wasn't,
Maslow.
oh, of course. But yeah, it wasn't until my master program, actually, when I really started counseling, that I just fell in love. Like, I knew I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to help people. I didn't know it was my passion and it's what I fell in love with until I was in it and doing it.
Isn't that funny how that happens? I got into recruiting.
Sort of scary.
I kind of fought the getting into recruiting because that's what mom did. And when you're young, you're like, I don't want to do
I
what my
want to do what
parents
mom does.
did. But I got into it and I just fell in love and I liked it and I liked everything about it. And I think that a lot of people are afraid to just find what they love. It's like, well, this makes me money, or just because I'm good at this, I should keep doing it. And people are afraid to make those career pivots and to make those kinds of decisions. So, what would you say for our job seekers or even our professionals that are in a career and going, oh my God, this is so boring. What am I going to do with myself? Or I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel like I'm making as good of an impact in the world as I could.
Mhm.
What would you say to them?
The very first thing that came to my mind as you were talking about this, and that people get into jobs for money. Um, First of all, that makes sense to me. That is the very first thing that happened, is that's good fitness. And when I say fitness, I'm not talking necessarily about body fitness. I just
Right.
mean sort of evolutionary fitness. Like you're taking care
Right.
of yourself. That's what
Right.
you're doing. Um, However, there's another aspect, as I mentioned earlier, of being holistic beings that's also very important to our health, and that is your psyche. Those are your emotions. And
Yes.
absolutely follow the passion. I
Yes.
agree very much with that comment, because following your passion is going to do is it's going to increase your happiness. It's going to increase your ability to enjoy life.
And
Because
your
if you're
health.
just
And your health.
and your health, because if you do not enjoy what you do and you're constantly just dreading going to work, you're just living on a routine of, I'm making money, I'm doing this, whatever. Now I will say that I've talked to my boyfriend a lot about that he has other things that are his passion. Like, he likes his work, he likes it.
Oh
Sometimes it
yeah.
drives him crazy,
Yeah.
sometimes he hates it. He's doing what he calls grunge work right
Oh,
now.
I quit recruiting like once a week. Like I just am like, no, mm, mm-mm. Can't
But
do
he
it
does it
anymore.
because
Sorry.
it is a good salary. He makes
Mhm,
a very decent living, and
mhm,
he can do his passions outside of it. So I guess in a let me be a little more concise. What I'm saying is, as long as you can fulfill that need of passion and well-being
mhm.
somewhere else, and
Right.
you're not losing your damn mind at your job, then that's okay. Just make sure that somewhere in your life you are getting that emotional fulfillment. You're because your
Yes.
body needs it. And I don't mean to
Yes.
sound hippie or anything.
No, no,
I
no,
want
it's
to
true. It's
okay.
biologically factual. I mean, and you guys can research this. You can go, in fact, WebMD did an article on this about that your mental state does in fact affect your health. So this needs to be right for this to be right. And in
Mhm.
fact, there have been multiple studies, including I believe it was the Mayo Clinic, and I know Harvard did a study on it too, that cancer patients did better when they were also receiving psychological treatments. They
Yes.
did better in
Oh,
their recovery.
100%.
So this is very, very important to keep in mind. Another thing, guys, or ladies, excuse me, I should be specific because this one we're really targeting women. So today I don't have to be generic. I
Just
can
say
be very
dudes,
specific. So
guys,
yeah, dude. Um,
y'all.
another thing that's y'all. Yeah, there we go. I'll bring out my Texas. Y'all. Hey, y'all. I think that now I've lost my train of thought, but oh, I got it. So think I think that it's really important as you're going through this journey and you're looking for a job or you're looking to find your own career. If something is making you crazy, get rid of it. And people go, well, I can't just quit my job. Well, first of all, yeah, you can. But second of all, find something else first and then quit if you need to. If that's what your financial situation dictates, that's perfectly fine.
One thing
No
I do
problem.
to clients sometimes that drives them sort of nuts on occasion is when they say I can't do something. I'll say, I wonder if you would say if you would change that to would and say that again. Say that same sentence
Yeah,
again, but change it to I won't. No, I won't instead of I
I
can't.
love it. I like that
And
because it's
oh
so
yeah, and a lot of times they'll just
fun.
get this.
Yeah, the pout. The
Oh,
I
I
don't
do
like
it too.
you. This made me
You know,
realize that.
I'm gonna take personal responsibility. I do the same thing. Like when I'm in my sessions with
We
my
all
counselor
do.
and she does that to
Yeah,
me, I'm like,
pout.
fine.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. But you do need to pay attention to these kind of things. So the other kind of point that I wanted to get to with all of this. So we're talking about having your mind right and all of that. So as you are growing in your career, you're going to hit stress points. You are going to hit times where you are just going berserk. I'm in one of them right now. I am a crazy person right now. And I'm doing everything I can to try to engage in things that make me happy, to take breaks. And oh, hey, Maz, what's
Sorry,
up?
he's
There's my little
being
nephew. It's
needy.
okay.
I
He can join
apologize.
right on in. Maslow has needs too. We're gonna embrace his emotional needs as well. So you're going to hit these points where you're really, really stressed out. And there's nothing you can do about them because to reach that next level, you have to go through this. You're at one of those right now with your master's program. Like, oh, I've got to get through this. But you still have to do things to take care of yourself or
Yes.
you will not be as successful. So it has been proven time and again, and I don't know the studies, I usually do, but I don't know the studies right off the top of my head, that you must take breaks in order for your mind to function properly. So if you are busy during the day and you're having trouble finding time to eat, tell somebody to wait. That meeting does not need to take an hour. And let me tell you, most meetings go on way too long anyway. That's a whole other tirade I can get onto. But take 20 minutes, shut everyone out. I
Hmm.
highly recommend putting on music, but that is up to you. And just eat and breathe and reboot. Because then when you get back out there, you will be far more effective. And that is just scientific fact. It's been proven over and over and over and over again. It's just scientific fact. And when we have a comment, it says, I agree 100%. Do what you love. Maybe sometimes you have to work on something else while you are building the path to do what you follow.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to follow, excuse me. 100%. Yes, absolutely. And what do you think, Michaela, about the idea of as you're growing and as you know, because you need to take breaks, how else do you handle that stress? Because we're talking today about how we do these things, how we reach the next level of success. So when you're struggling to find that time, how do you do that? And yes, Susan, what made me think about this, and what it prompted this little segment was your wasted hour post. So yes, thank you, Susan. Full credit to Miss Susan Straub, another wonderful lady who everyone should connect
Oh yes,
with.
yes, yes. I just had a small comment to make because yeah, this ties into everything we're talking about, and I am a overachiever. And that comes from a place of anxiety. It really does. It's that I don't
Mhm.
want to stop. If I stop, that means I'm not doing anything. There's like a whole
Right,
backstory there. But
right.
so basically, what I'm saying is I'm very familiar with this on a personal level and on a professional level. Um, so what? So I guess the question is, how do you give yourself those breaks?
Mhm.
This goes back to what I think is caring about yourself. Caring about yourself enough to want to do what's healthy for yourself, want to rejuvenate yourself. Because I see a lot of times that people ultimately won't do those things for themselves. They have to be like physically stopped and say, "Hey, no, 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 we're stopping." And a lot of times that's what happens in my counseling sessions with clients is that I'll just have to say, "Let's stop here." And I noticed that I can get a little hypocritical in that way throughout the weeks, and I'll catch myself and like remember, "Oh, right, I say that to clients. I should probably do it myself too." Um, because oftentimes that can be very difficult. So, I guess in a roundabout way, what I'm trying to say is give yourself moments to care about yourself. I think that is the most important thing to do here. And oh, there, here she comes back. I was about to say,
I wanted to let people just hear you for a minute and not look at me.
fair enough,
But I
fair
think,
enough.
what do we always say on the show? Give yourself grace.
Yeah. Oh,
Give
and
yourself
love
grace
too. Grace,
and love.
compassion, love. Love is, I think, a choice. Like, yes, we all have some amount of love within us. That is very true. Some of us more than others. Some of us can show it in different ways than others. But I
Yeah.
still think it is a conscious choice. And guess
Yes.
what, guys, ladies, people, y'all watching?
Y'all.
It's the same for you. It is a choice
Mhm.
to love yourself. Um, and getting to know
And to
who
be
you are,
proud
as
of
Christina,
yourself.
pride in yourself. Yes, and as Christina was
Mhm.
talking about when she was on, it's a matter of coming to know who you are. And ways to do that is just look at yourself in the mirror. Have you
Yeah.
like I want to know, Catherine, have you ever just really stopped and looked at yourself in the mirror? Like looked into your own eyes without judgment even. That's the hard part, without judgment and just really looked.
Not physically, like,
Mhm.
looked at myself in a mirror, but I have taken time, and I'd make a point to do this periodically, to stop and reflect on who I am and
Mhm.
appreciate the strengths, to forgive and let go the mistakes, and to learn from said mistakes and or misunderstandings, whatever the case was. I think that that's a really important thing to do, to take that personal time. So even though I was not physically looking at myself,
You still do the reflection.
I still do the
And
reflection.
that's what's ultimately important. Though I would encourage people listening to take that moment for themselves.
And don't focus
Just
on your physical stuff. Look.
well, but even so, notice that I have two nostrils. I've got lips, and really take a moment to look into your eyes. Just
Mhm,
notice what you see, and then when those judgments come in, they're going to. Let's just all say it, they're going to come in.
mhm.
Don't take them too seriously. What hangs us up are taking thoughts and judgments and let's call them what they are, internalizations too seriously. So just
Right.
like, oh, hey, there that comes saying that, oh, my smile's crooked sometimes.
Mine
Whatever.
is.
Yeah.
Well, well, thank you so much, Michaela, for sharing. It's been a great segment, and we will miss you on to have you
I
on
would
regularly.
too.
But you'll be in the background still helping out with the show, and
Yeah,
I know you'll return to us when you're able. So
I will. Bye,
adios
guys.
and best of luck.
Bye.